Man, you come straight out of a comic.
On Zooming with the homies, a lot of the comments was about how CT and Shantae's mic sound immaculate, right?
See?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I spent a good, decent chunk of change on this mic, and nobody's ever announced that my mic sounded good. So I was like, I was feeling insecure in that moment. So
Pretty trash.
So Dion, you pretty much just confirmed that my mic ain't what I thought it was, and now
It's just compared to somebody else. That's all it is.
Now, as he says it, it's like it sound good, but it's like someone got plastic over it. Like I hear you, but it's like what a sound, like like the sound vibrations when you see them. If somebody's doing this,
yeah. The price tag got in the chokehold right now,
bro. I gotta do all my lists on Watch Mojo all over again. I gotta tell them like, hey, scratch that shit. I don't need that trash mic. I'm about to get CT's exact setup.
Nah,
I'm telling you,
the editors got like 15 plugins on top of your shit right now. They 15.
I'm the only Watch Mojo auto-tune person. They auto-tune my Watch Mojo.
listen, if you go to a Guitar Center, you might even be able to look at Amazon, just type in RODE mic. Rode mic should be giving me money for the way I'm advertising them. I owe all of this to Nate Jackson. He's the one who told me about this mic. And yeah, man.
Yeah, you got, wait, you
it's
got
definitely
the
time
Rode
for me
mic,
to
right?
upgrade. It's definitely time for me to upgrade.
And they're not even a lot of money, man.
They're
Like
not?
I went to Guitar Center and I was like, hey, I need a Rode mic. And they were like, oh, we only have 3 left. I'm like, I'll take all 3. Just because.
You know what's funny is we have a Rode mic here. It's my brother's, who is the technical person, and I chose the Shure mic because I'm like, all I got is looks.
I don't know why you're so sure about it.
Hey, hello. Yo, listen to me.
I don't normally get those.
Dion Lack is obviously one of my best friends. This is no secret. But Dion Lack is so funny, bro. Did you hear the insert? Hello. It's all because, for ladies and gentlemen who are watching this, we started talking about hair in the beginning before we recorded. And Dion Lack has got the fresh baldy, and he hates when we talk about hair. And he came in and attacked their mics immediately. And here we are.
I know my mic ain't shit, so I'm kind of like a Pokemon. The attack was not as effective.
Yeah.
The Deuce is having a full meltdown over there. Like,
Bro, he buried Zemo me.
You just gave him the red pill, and he's like,
no, he what was old boy in Civil War? Zemo, right? That was his name. That he buried Zemo me. Now I'm just like, I'm doubting everything.
Because this is his life. This is what Deuces does. And he attacked the mic, bro. Woo! Cold game.
oh man.
I'm glad we have something to talk about today, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because we have a great rhythm, all 4 of us, especially Broady when he comes in, the 5th one. But the funny thing be, I know our chemistry is great, and I'm somebody that likes to touch in it when we can touch in it, right? I don't like just doing it just to do it. And I felt at one point, anything that would happen on TV, it'd be like a commercial for like the Super Bowl. We'll be like, hey, y'all want to talk about this tomorrow? We're like, hey, man, hey, let's wait for a movie to drop.
When I started having more segments to do, like my fandom fiction, the debates and stuff like that, I was like, you know what? These are better. Like, you know what it was? Something Paul Heyman said about Brock Lesnar.
What?
If you saw him wrestle every week, the spectacle of him would disappear, and then
Facts.
Brock would just be another person. So I'm like, with these, it's like, yo, like, save this lineup for when it's the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
When we need to come back. Everything else, that's when we can fill in like the new people, everybody that is wanting to be on this platform and stuff. But for this one, like this occasion, for this episode, that's when you bring the good chemistry in.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So, of course, welcome to another episode of Straight Out of a Comic Book. I'm Will Pharaoh. You know, we got Spider Deuce, CT is Dope, Morales, Spider Lack, and, of course, me, Pharaoh Punk. And if you have seen Spider-Man across the Spiderverse, you already know this is what we're talking about. But for folks that haven't, we about to talk a lot about this movie. So if you still have not seen it, hey, you can go enjoy some other things. Watch the previous episode with myself, Young Deuces, Terrence Green, and Brandon Broady. We all came up with our own Spider-Man. Go check that one out. It is spoiler free until you see the movie, then come back.
Yeah.
That's your only warning. After that, we talking about a whole bunch of shit. 200 million opening weekend.
Domestically, got to be domestically.
Domestic. We ain't even went worldwide. Domestic. Let me tell y'all something. Like so, we all went to the theaters to see it, right? So I got very interesting story about this. So I received tickets to go see it for free, which I later learned were not tickets.
What?
And I should read better. Yeah, this is all about how black people need to read.
Keep talking, nigga. Keep talking. I'm excited.
So I get invited to go see Spider-Man, and my homeboy's like, "Yo, you want to go see a screening?" And it's right around the corner from me in downtown. I was like, I can go right to the theater right there. I was like, bet, that's perfect. And I was like, okay, cool. Got my tickets. Then I saw CT's text message, and I was like, Flash is coming out. I got CT on Flash. We going to Flash together. I already committed to this one. So we get there, and I want to make sure I get there early. So I get a scooter. I get to I scoot, and I get there. And then when I get there, it's this group that I'm meeting. It's a group of people. A few of them I know, a few of them you don't know. You know, that type of group. And so we sitting there waiting, and I'm still contemplating about getting a drink, getting the popcorn, and then all of a sudden they give me this blue ticket that you put around your wrist.
Okay.
And then that's when I started getting suspicious. Like, we gonna have to stand in line for something. I don't. Where's my seat assignment? I was like, that's my first thing. Where is my seat assignment? And I didn't get one. I said something is finna go horribly wrong. And it did. Apparently, our entire group was not going to be able to go into this screening because they booked the wrong theater. Booked the wrong theater. So they gave out way too many tickets for the theater that they had. So they were like, we're going to go to AMC in North Hollywood. And I'm like, I didn't drive. And if I scoot to my house is not going to let me leave. That's just how my house works.
That's true.
So, yeah, so I was just like, I can't defy my house. They was like, no, you should just try to see if you could get into this one, but I would just go now. So I was like, man, screw the popcorn, screw the drink. I go up there, and then 4 other dudes that were black, that were my height. I don't know why I described it like that, but I just wanted to get a description of who was with me when we went up there. And so these are people I don't know. They were in the group of the friends, but they were friends of the friends in that group that I don't know. But we all were commune together for Miles Morales. We came to bond for Miles Morales. So we get up to the theater.
Dion, shut up. Shut up, Dion.
We get in the line. And I don't want to start this off on a bad note, but when I say the division between blacks and Latinos is definitely shown. This opening weekend. Because when I tell you, we were the only 4 black men standing in that movie. And they kept letting all these Hispanic people pass by and go in. I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all know he's both races, right? Some of us need to be in attendance.
He represents both of us, not just one.
Yeah. And so right when we get to the front where we next, because they count in groups, that's when they tell us it's full.
Wow.
And we turn around. And so now I'm thinking like Denzel. I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here watching something.
I'm leaving here watching something.
Yeah. And I'm walking, and then I see a theater, and it says, and our movie was supposed to start at 8:00. This one says it starts at 7:30. It's 7:55. And I'm like, yo, trailers are 20 minutes.
Give me that ticket.
I ain't need no ticket. I just walked in. I said, fuck it. I just walked right in. I thought they were gonna follow behind me. They not them type of blacks.
They not your responsibility either.
Nope, it was not my responsibility.
Because these ain't your friends. These are just randoms.
I heard them laugh, say he really went in. Yes, I did.
Hey, John, hate on you. Hey, yo, he really went in.
And I really did.
They went
I
full
go
gun
in,
on you.
theater ain't even that full. You know how they got the screen and then those chairs right there, but that last row that's still comfortable for you to look at and not hurt your neck. literally only missed the first 10 seconds of the movie and got to enjoy the whole thing for free.
It wasn't for free, but listen, that is amazing. I'm glad that story ended like that because listen, man, if anybody tell you anything, I don't do group stuff unless I trust the host. You understand me? And when you got a situation like that, I ask for details. Now, if he was like, hey, yo, you want this ticket? You already know. Y'all been in the movies with me several times. If this is a movie where I'm like, I got all these tickets, just be there at this time, you know you're good. If I say, hey, come to this movie, get your tickets, that also tells you, get your ticket, you got your seat. But the whole show up, and first of all, who was the idiot that didn't get the seats? That's my first question. Why do they think this is okay?
I believe it was the people who said it. I think it was more of, hey, we got booked to do a screening and we need to fill up this thing so we can keep doing these screenings. Deuce, I know you getting ready to do the flash screening, so you're kind of familiar with that. And I think they just wanted to fill it, not try to go like, hey, had a strategy like how you would have. I'm going to invite my friends. My friends are going to have this whole section. They already going to know their numbers. Right. Mm-hmm. Whoever else I get is to, you got the front row where the screen is at. However many that is, first come, first serve. They didn't do that with any of this stuff.
Yeah, because you got to give instructions. That's what we did for our screeners. Yeah. We gave everybody instructions like, look, this is not a guaranteed seat because it's a screener. So get there early because it's first come, first serve. Like, we made sure we told that. Like, you got to at least tell people that so they can make the decision if they want to, you know, roll this dice or not. You know what I'm saying?
I'm seeing Flash a couple times, and this is what I got into. BT Kingsley was like, yo, I'm gonna get the tickets. I say, cool. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly where we're going and the times if y'all want to come up there. It's Topanga Canyon. However, he's been touting about this, and I said, all right, man, get these tickets. We're gonna go, because my thing be, if it's a fire movie like Spiderverse, at the movie theater that I've been taking y'all to recently, they don't have the recline seats for the brand new movie. The brand new movie has to be there for a week and then it goes to reclining theater. So I'll be like, but smaller movies go to recliner spots. And I'm like, damn, but I do want to see my Flash movie in recliners. I've been avoiding every trailer. I've been avoiding every invite because people have been doing screenings for the past week and be like, hey, come to the screener. I'm like, I'm going to just wait. But I appreciate it because I want to see it with my people. I don't want to just go in just to see the movie.
Yeah. DC did a good job though too. Like, the few trailers they've released is all really just the same thing, just reclipped in a different organization and stuff like that. But they even said to that point they're only doing one premiere just so it doesn't give away anything.
I love that.
Specifically the ending. They said whatever this secret ending is supposed to be, like this big ending, whatever that is, because even in the screener that they're giving us, they told us that 10 minutes of the ending is going to be gone. So whatever this ending is, it's about to be an amazing fucking ending that they're not allowing the screeners to see it. And that one premiere is going to be the one that has the ending. So I mean, I'm excited to see exactly what they're going to do. Because
wait a minute, you're saying all these screenings that have been happening don't have the 10 minutes in there?
Yep.
Good. I love that, because that means that can't nobody spoil nothing until it comes out. Yep. And I'd have wasted my damn time missing the 10 minutes at the end anyway. Made the right decision.
I was like, that was genius. I was like, y'all have been doing a lot with these movie endings, but we're gonna get into that later in this episode. But I do want to start off with the hot topic with Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. Of course, man, it is now finally out. If whatever you expected it to be, it delivered that plus more. And so because of that, I know y'all have been seeing this question. And we know that this is going to not be the first debate of this. But Spider-Man sequels. We got four generations of spiders now.
Okay. Yep.
Now they have said this one is the best sequel out of the four Spider-Man, and I want to get your opinion on that statement.
I don't think it's fair to say that, because this one I don't feel like it was complete. You know, it's like a premise of a like, it was kind of like, was it a Matrix Revolution or whatever it's called? It kind of felt like it was Reloaded. It felt like,
I think it's Revolution, because that was 2 parts, right?
Reloaded.
Reloaded is the second one.
Yeah. And I felt like And you know when you watch a movie, you feel the music is like something fell off. Why are y'all hyping this part up real quick? And I was like, this movie better not go off. I was like, you know, it was like, I was like, this better not go off. And I'm looking at
the characters did it for me. When I saw the old one from the first one, when I saw Spider-Man Noir, I was like, this finna go off. Y'all wouldn't just show him right now for 10 minutes.
We've been here for 2 hours. I was like, hold on, a big fight about to happen now?
And then it's like it was a big fight's about to. Go ahead, Will. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's on you. Go.
It's like a big fight's about to happen, but at the same time, you like this is a big fight over here, but this is a big moment over here. How y'all gonna do both? And then you see to be continued. You like you motherfucker. So you motherfuckers.
So you want to know what's hilarious about that? So I had the pleasure of interviewing Kemp Powers, and he was shocked that so many people forgot that it was going to be.
Yeah, I did too.
So I told him, I said, I don't know what your marketing team did, but like me included, I forgot that there was a third movie coming. So when I'm watching, I said that last 15 minutes was so intense because I'm like, I'm all into it. I'm like, yo, this movie going down. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, everybody's saying how dope this movie is, but how can this movie be dope if they're not going to wrap this movie up in 15
exactly
minutes? And then I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? I'm like, oh.
Listen to me right now, bro. There are few things in film that piss me off. And one of the top thing about films that piss me off is you saying to be continued. You understand me? The only films that I was like, I'm gonna give you a pass are Infinity War and Endgame, and that's only because you dropped Infinity War, and then I think that came out in like a November or December type thing.
Yeah.
And then Endgame came out in May, and you're like, I can deal with this because this is just a couple of months. But for you to do a to be continued and a movie drops the following year, it's like, bro, you really got me fucked up.
Also, Infinity War was an ending. That was Thanos' movie. That was his
movie.
That was his coup de grace right there.
Whoa. That was his what?
His coup de grace.
Okay. Anyway,
you know what that means?
Coup de grace.
What'd I say?
You said coupe de grace. I say, nigga, that sounds like a Cadillac.
I thought he said coupe. I thought he said cooped with a T. I was like,
it's like, hey, man, you never know what Dion, boy.
This nigga
He said, then he followed it up with, you don't know what that means? Nigga.
you gonna double down on it too.
No,
okay.
CT, it was the second one when he said it with more confidence. Like,
man, coupe de grace. You don't know what that means?
That's Gavin's brother. Bro, the eliteness of Dion Lackboy when he is talking is crazy. Oh man.
Hey, side note, Dion, how you go to a podcast unprepared, bro? You was at the Daddy's Issue podcast and y'all had to run it back because you put the
man. Hey, this is neither here nor there, man. Let's skip past that. We're talking about teams. We're talking about this, all right?
I just had to bring that up. I said, no, this is the most funniest Dion moment ever.
Bro, Dion Lack is a different breed of human, dog. Bro, I'm so glad you don't have a son because if he had to live in your shadow of comedy, oh my God.
No, his son would have to do something else. Like he'd be doing something else still great, but it'd be completely opposite of what Dion's doing.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine you, Dion's son, and y'all at the barbecue, and you be like, everybody look at this. And they're like, hey, Dion, get your son, man. He bombing in front of the barbecue, baby. Jesus. Bro, when I look at the Spider-Verse, my thing was this. It felt like a great origin story for Gwen. Well, not origin, but it was like you gave us a look into her. And I was like, they giving her a lot of time. Is this her movie, right? Yeah, and then you start thinking, why isn't Miles a part of this group? Like, I'm wondering that the whole time. And they're like, yeah, he can't join. And you're like, well, why can't he join? This movie was done so beautifully. The only complaint I have is the to be continued because now you got me all in. And they showed that Miles Morales might be the greatest Spider-Man of all time because he beat all the Spider-Man.
He didn't beat. He just escaped.
Nah, man, that's beating.
That's beating.
That was a win. That was a win.
That was a win.
That was a win.
That was a win. Because that's one of Spider's main goals is to escape. Like they don't attack, they try to escape as insect.
And
So,
you
yeah,
escaped over 500
Yeah.
Spider-Man, bro.
Yeah.
In a place you ain't never been in, using technology you ain't never had.
Right.
You know, and the one thing I loved about Spider-Verse, is the themes that they get, like that theme of like telling your own story. Like that was everybody, because even in Miles' dad, you know, him coming into fatherhood, trying to have that relationship and, you know, trying to find out who he is as a father, right? And then you had all the Spider-Men and the Spider people, like they're really trying to tell their story. And then even with the full circle moment, coming to find out that this Miles wasn't even supposed to be the Miles.
Right.
But he's really, so now he's really is painting his story. Like I just thought that was just amazing how they kept on driving that theme through everybody's story, even with Spot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the villain story, you know, he was like, no, I'm not the run of the week villain. Like I'm the big guy. So, you know, him trying to find his story and tell his story. Like I thought that.
Let me ask y'all this, because Spot wasn't really highlighted. He was kind of like featured. Who is the villain in this movie? Is it Spot or is it
It's a dual villain. I feel like the A villain is definitely Spider-Man 2099.
Yep.
And then the B villain is Spot, but Spot's villain origin story for this film sets up his big thing for the next movie. Whereas at the beginning of this movie, you're like, oh, Spider-Man, and then at the end, you're like, oh, I hate this dude.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but he had a point, man. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. He's like, dude, you fucked up. You have ruined this canon moment. It's like this has to happen now, man. So because you saved the father, now all the fathers have to, you know what I'm saying, get killed. So
but to that point, that's where I feel like, and I may be overthinking this, but in that being the case, Spider-Man 2099 already messed up when he took Gwen. Because when he took Gwen, he changed and altered that whole timeline, which forced her father to quit, and her father is supposed to die. And technically, Gwen is supposed to die, which also makes her an anomaly because she's the only one of her entire
timeline. Yeah.
Which is why it attracts her to Miles. So it's just like 2099 already messed this up anyway and started causing canon failures.
Yeah. Well, 2099, I feel like also he was projecting a lot of his issues onto Miles because you know, as I was watching 2099, his like when they got to his storyline, the parallels to Doctor Strange's storyline and What If stood out so much because you got to remember in What If, Doctor Strange stopped the canon event and then his universe got overtaken by that black goo. So when you're seeing 2099 tell his story and you see his universe get taken by the black goo, I thought that was interesting. But also what was interesting was he didn't really tell his story. He was telling that universe's 2099 Spider-Man story. So it's like, bro, like he royally fucked up and now he's using Miles as his scapegoat. Like, oh yeah, you know, you did it. It's your fault. It's like, bro, no, really, it could have been really your fault. It's like it's so much undertones that you got to try to figure out. Like that was
we also learned writers are very petty because let's just be honest, 2099 didn't hit like that, and we fell in love with Miles. I see why you mad. Like that's supposed to be you. Like just think about it. Like they told you was gonna be that next Spider-Man with ethnic and all of that stuff, and it was
Miguel.
We just didn't. It didn't hit, and then it was like, all right, we're gonna try again with this dude Miles, and
it
Miles
blew up.
And
here's the thing: let's talk about Latinos for a minute, bro. You said this earlier in the show, and I'm gonna say this now. Latinos, bro. When I tell you they support their own. Yes, so when you see this Miles Morales, and even though he's black and he's Latin, they like, yo, he's us. And it's like, hey, he's black too. He's us. And you're like, yeah, but he's both of us. You can come, but sit your ass in the back. Exactly. So, bro, I love seeing. And I can't wait to see Blue Beetle for this exact same reason. Man, when I tell you I love Latin culture, I love the fact that that Marvel and DC have given us these characters, more Marvel than DC for this one because he's a mix of both Black and Latin. But it's like we have our own, and he makes us love the fact that he's so much better than the other Spider-Man because he's the only Spider that has the electrical powers and he can go invisible. Like, come on.
Yeah. I think one cool thing I really enjoyed about seeing this was something I think Marvel had been missing for a while, and I feel like they are starting to correct. And that missing element, especially for like Black characters, is that family element.
Yes.
Like that's what they had been missing. Like when we saw Black Panther, like that's why we attracted to him, because you saw that family unit. You saw like what the consequences were and what the actions were of being this hero along with his family. The same thing with Miles. Like everything he did, we had something we could take away. Like, oh, my mom would definitely have said that, or my dad would have definitely said that. We hadn't really seen that in a while. Like most of the people we see are Black or either from the military
and grown
from their family or grown, and it's like we don't really either. We have to accept them for who they are, but it's still that disconnect from us to be able to relate. And I'm glad they starting to fix that.
Yeah, I'll give you one better, even with the family aspect of it, is when you look at, you know, a lot of these stories, it's always the broken home and everything. Like, so when you got the two parents and even their interaction, because, you know, seeing when he was like, hey, can I say it? Can I say it? Oh, you won't punch me. I'm like, yo, that's literally my parents. That lameness of, oh, can I say it? Can I, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt it. I'm like, yo, that is exactly what I would expect ethnic parents together who've been together for so long. Yeah, they got that tag team on how they're going to discipline their child and everything. Like, I thought that was.
Hey, Deuces, man, we gotta stop this bullshit, man. Listen, Will just said that shit, man.
But I was giving specifics.
God damn it.
I was giving specifics, CT.
Damn it.
I was giving specifics. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything about the jokes.
I'm gonna give you the joke.
I'm watching it in Will's face, like.
Because it's like we gonna get to that, because you know we do the good, the bad, and the ugly. We getting to that. This was the overview.
But you was already talking about family. I'm like, I didn't want to bring it back up. Like,
that's why. No, you can.
No,
it was just the short version, but you can bring it back up. I'm just giving the short because I don't want to be taking too much of y'all time.
And you didn't even hear it, but your mic was hating too. It said,
you ain't shit for that one, because we all heard it, but we were stalling him out.
I ain't gonna lie to CT. That's what I thought you was going to talk about first. You're like, yo, come on, man.
Giving me feedback.
It was like, that meme was like,
disrespected. All right, I feel like I earned my keep. I earned more respect than this.
Bro, I agree with you guys on the family aspect. I love the fact that I'm just Team Miles now, and I've been Team Miles since the first movie, and then of course the video game dropped, right? And the video game, and I love that they highlighted that as well in the movie, all the video games. But beyond that, now we're getting a live action Miles Morales movie, and it's like the only kid possible to play that role is that little black boy off Blackish. He's the only one who could do this.
Whose name is Miles.
Whose name is Miles.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and he's Black and Latino.
Yep.
There's nobody else.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect age range between him and Tom Holland.
You better get in that gym, boy. You better get in that gym.
He don't even have to for the first one.
No, not for the first one.
Okay.
Especially if you go with his first get up with the hoodie and stuff like that, he'd be good.
He needs to shoot that movie in the next 7 months, though.
Well, no, we don't. He's going through like a portal and he's going to transfer.
Well, we don't know. We know the only thing we do have confirmed is that he'll make his live action debut in Spider-Man 4.
Okay.
Now
how y'all
I got
feel
a
about
question.
Miles Morales bunny hopping with the snow bunnies?
Well, let's discuss it.
All
the
Black and Latinos in his universe. He said, "Nah,
I want a white girl from a different
universe
with a gap in her teeth." And she playing the band. Like, you don't even listen to this music. Like, what's happening?
He hip hop as fuck.
You got to give him a pass only because, and every black woman watching this, every black guy, every Latin man, you got to give him a pass because this was the first girl that was his, you know what I'm saying, that gave him attention. And everybody know it don't matter what that first girl looked like. If she's giving you that attention and love, you'd be like, I like you. And it's the first one I like, so I gotta hold a candle to her. Now, who knows? Because he was also kind of looking at Spider Bite a little bit, the computer. So that's the first black one. You just don't know.
Yeah. So here's my thing. I still have not figured out. Maybe I can clear this up. Because she said it. The mama said it, and I had the same question. Age range. How old is Spider-Gwen?
Oh,
great question.
Wasn't she in high school when she got bit? Her origin story.
But again, they're not going off of like the ones that we know. So it's like
they said that she's believed to be 19 when Miles is believed to be 16.
Oh,
so
boy.
Oozers.
so now are we finna get like in this perverted logic? It'd be like, well, no, because in her timeline, 19 really means 16.
That's ridiculous.
And if he was there on her herb, they would be the same age.
Nah.
My brother's saying that the movie version, she's supposed to be 17. That's what he just checked for us. So
so
maybe they're going off of that. Yeah.
Okay,
I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Older white woman. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
The question that are y'all big street ball fans? Like, and one and everything like that?
Yeah. Shout out Escalade.
Back in 01.
So one of the Easter eggs that was there was the Sham God Easter egg. So Sham God in street ball, he is known for the Sham crossover. And in Spider-Man, when they went to the other universe, when the New York Knicks jersey changed, it changed to a Brooklyn Knicks. And the name of the player was Sham God. So, like, I thought that was culturally dope. And, the fact that they took a New York street ball legend and in a different universe, instead of him being a street ball legend, he would be in the league. Like, I thought that was pretty dope.
Okay. That's dope.
Yeah, I feel like I would love to see a video, and there has to be one that is being created or already been created, where they go to everything that you missed. Because that movie moved so fast, I almost missed. You almost missed the video game Spider-Man because the way that they were doing it. You're like, oh, so there's so many Spider-Man that we missed. I also didn't see the animated series Spider-Man unless they showed them. I was like, I have to see a video to find out.
The one where, they did. He had like a square head. Or you talking about the one from the 90s?
I'm talking about the one from the 90s.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
No, the only one that they showed was from the 60s. The original cartoon. They showed him swinging because that's the one they missed when he was saying, "I'm coming for you," and he straight missed mine. That was the 60s one.
In your theater, what did everyone react to?
Man, bro, my theater was so whack because I had kids in there. So when they showed the live action version and we got to see the premiere of Donald Glover as Prowler, I'm sitting here wilding, geeking out, dead silence.
My theater was crazy for that.
Right now, y'all remember the part where they finally told Miles why he can't join and the Spider-Man start coming around him? And when the Spider-Man from Disney XD came out and start talking to him, the kids went crazy. All these little motherfuckers just started yelling and screaming. I said, "You basic bitches, you don't deserve to watch this." Didn't nobody get hyped for Andrew? But I was like, "Yo,
bro." Everybody went crazy in my theater. They went crazy for every single cameo, except it's 2-bit Spider-Man, but it's realistically Lego Spider-Man. Like nobody in the theater got that one. We were like,
And that story is so amazing that they used the kid that did the trailer. Like that was that's so amazing that because they didn't know he was a kid when they reached out to him. They thought it was some guy, and so they reached out to him and they were like, "Oh crap, it's a kid! All right, well let's throw him in here." And like,
that's dope.
Mine's when it was like grab Spider-Man. Wait. They're like, he's doing it.
They all pointing.
They all pointing.
Which one? Which one?
That was a great one. I think I just want to see more of it in a live action one, because when we saw No Way Home, it was like, yo, Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, the first one was called what? Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse was amazing, right? We were like, this is the best Spider-Man movie. And then No Way Home came out, and you're like, this, then Into the Spider-Verse, then you got Spider-Man 2. Now I'm with Dion, although I still got to give them their flowers. I say it's No Way Home, Spider-Verse 1, Spider-Man 2, and then this. But if they would have finished it, like if this would have been its own movie, this definitely would have taken the place of Into the Spider-Verse.
Now, if they stick the landing on the third one, now that we have the completion, would that be enough to give you this is the best Spider-Man trilogy?
Well, trilogy, that's the thing. So we haven't had an amazing Spider-Man trilogy. Like when you look at the Tom Holland, I don't care what nobody say. Yes, there were aspects of Spider-Man Far From Home that were fire, but that movie overall was
second one,
especially following Endgame. You know what I mean? So if part 3 sticks the landing, it will be the greatest trilogy.
But I just wanted to throw Will in there because Will say No Way Home was not watchable.
You out of control.
I said no, I did not say that.
You said it's not rewatchable, as in like I want to.
You didn't say that. You said watchable.
You didn't say watchable.
Rewatchable.
I said it don't have that much rewatch value.
I said, nigga, the hell.
Are you crazy? What type? Who sold it to you?
Wish.
He got all his drug from Sheen. What brother has given you this narcotic that you should be having him arrested for?
I watch that shit anytime I can, man. And if you watch it now, they got like an extra 12 minutes on it.
So what are the 12?
They extended Happy's scene when they first went in to show the apartment and stuff like that.
Okay.
They extend that part.
The Daredevil scene.
The Daredevil scene is extended. I think when they're talking on the roof and stuff like that about going to school, that's extended as well. It's like it's enough to where like I'm not mad it wasn't put in the original, but it's cool that you added it in there. Yeah.
What was missing? So tell me about the Daredevil scene. What else happened in that?
He was telling it just further told Happy like what has to happen with his stuff. That was it. He talked to Happy a little bit more before the brick came in.
Got you.
Yeah.
Daredevil. Yeah. When is that Born Again dropping?
Man, it's on hold thanks to this writer's strike and now this SAG strike. And then Spider-Man 4 also said in solidarity they putting a hold on their stuff too.
You know that mess up actors' schedules too. They was like, hey, I was scheduled for this, but I'm supposed to be doing this right after this.
Yeah. Everybody available right now. I had this conversation. I was talking to Chaz last night. He's like, hey man, Denzel is available right now. He's not doing nothing. I said, that's a great point.
Well, I saw that too, and it was like SAG went on strike, man. The actors out. I was like, man, digital about to blow up.
About to blow up, guy.
Yeah.
Like we go ask anybody. Hey, what you doing right now? Nothing. I can do it tomorrow if you're ready.
Yeah. Like a lot of podcasts is happening from. Wait. You like Denzel Washington and Viola Davis got a podcast?
Hey, you know what though? That's it. Thank you, Dion. That's something me and my cousin was having a conversation about. Was when they first had this writer's strike, reality shows was what blew up. And so we wondered, it was like, okay, if this keeps continuing past 100 days, what's gonna blow up for this one? And just what you just said, bro, podcast.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, let's go back to Spider-Man. What was that little, because I'm not familiar with 2099, that little wolf thing that came out, it was like a glimpse of it real quick.
Oh, the vampire thing?
Yeah.
The teeth, he's a vampire.
He's a vampire. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Explain his origin story to me, please.
It's something to do with the spider. Not like he got bit by a vampire, but something to do with the spider. Has to do with the fact that I think he has to ingest blood or some stuff like that. I think it had to do with something with the spider. It's like whatever they mixed in with that spider is what got him to be like that.
So can he be in a daylight, or is it like
again, it's something even with his city too. Like his city is different. Like even like how he swings and stuff like that is more a free fall than really like swinging around the city. Like his stuff is like futuristic and everything. Like I think Young Deuce, you got any information pulled up for him?
No, I was trying.
That's what you look like you was doing.
I couldn't listen. I'm trying to find the full detail of it.
Yeah, right.
See,
and,
that's
and
why-
all the
that's-
Spider-Man.
2099 New York. See, my brother's here helping me out. We was trying.
Your brother is not on the show, Deuces.
Yeah.
You
What is
understand?
it? Y'all gotta give me time. You
What
called me.
would
I
happen
usually
if
pop
Watch
in.
Mojo were to see what you're doing right now?
I
You are
usually
a
pop in when I
disgrace.
got the facts. Y'all usually don't ask me. So if I don't pop in, that means I don't got the facts, guys.
But your face changed like the facts were ready.
He
Like, I
said,
saw-
you did this first.
you did. That's what your face showed. That's what your face showed. Is what Dion just did, and then you looked up like, "I'm ready to present."
I'm ready to present, guys. And he was not ready, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me ask you this though: out of all the Spider-Mans, which one has the best powers or the best? Like, damn, that's the best. Because CT definitely, brought up the fact that Miles Morales has the electric and it go visible.
It may be Miles.
It may be Miles. I ain't gonna lie.
It's hard to go against that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to
really
think the only reason, before you say your answer, Dion, the only reason we really love Peter Parker is because he's the first.
Yeah.
Right, he's the original, and we followed his story so long. We're like, oh, he's the guy, and he's gotten through all of his problems with intelligence and heart. Right, Miles has all of that plus electricity and
Right.
invisibility,
Right. And he had a hoodie.
and he got a hoodie and some J's. Come on, man.
The only thing Peter added to his suit that was like, "Yo, I got to step it up. Let me put some wings, some cobweb wings, so I can fly."
Hold on, man. I really liked Spider-Woman. Where she had the fingers with the.
Yeah.
Every one of her fingers has webs. And
Which
she
one
got
is
a
this?
motorcycle.
The black,
Issa
the black
Rae-
one.
Issa Rae's character.
I don't like that they made her pregnant, unless that's gonna have something to do with the plot.
Well, it was in the comics. That's why they took that iteration from the comics. She's the only Spider-Man who the world knows that she's a spider person. Like, she doesn't have a disguise or anything. So that's why her being pregnant in that storyline was so good, because they was able to tell a story of a spider person who was just out in the world. Everybody knows she's a spider person, so she can just live a regular life.
But that's not true. It's like when you are a superhero and you have villains and they know how to, that's the purpose of having secret identity, is the
Right.
fact that this can separate. Oh man, he is whooping my ass. Let me take this mask off and lay low for a couple of days. But that's the only good thing that I'll say is about Iron Man 3 is everybody knows you're Iron Man and you just talk shit to this guy and now he's found where you lived and bombed your house. So with Spider-Woman, I'm never a fan of putting children and your family in danger. So by her being pregnant and the world knows she's Spider-Woman, what's going to stop an evil villain to come and get her while she's in labor and can't defend herself? Or, all of that stuff.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, and I'm just like, even too, for that being her introduction, you could have just said like, "Hey, I'm caring for two," but it doesn't really show it, like, or some to the point where it's like, yeah, it's just
Well,
like,
I think that the reason, and again, just going back to that comic book, they wanted to show a hero showing. That was the whole purpose of it. So I guess, if you think about it, adapting the Spider-Verse, granted, I get exactly what you guys are saying, but you got to think, if she's the anomaly, the only spider person of that, and that was only a short run story, I mean, just to throw in that representation with this showing so many different spider scenarios, I was okay with it. It didn't really impact.
Hear me out. And this is the only reason I bring that up. We have so few Black women that are standalone heroes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And when you have these Black women that are powerful and strong and they have these superpowers, why not showcase them doing these amazing fight scenes and their incredible intelligence and heroics without, hey, give her a baby.
And she Black with no baby.
And she Black.
No, she got a baby.
No,
She
she's
had a
married.
husband.
She's got a husband. But I definitely thought that until she announced it. I was like, come on, man.
right.
So I want to see, first of all, the reason that I love this is because this is Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman has always existed since I was a kid. And this one is Black and she's incredible, right? So many times we see them make a male hero into a woman and expect everybody to love it. And when you don't love it, you're a chauvinist, sexist, misogynist. And that's not the case. The case is sometimes we just want a dope woman hero that has always been a woman, that is an incredible hero, that is written like a male hero because they don't tie her down with the stereotypical things that make anybody hate them as a character.
Yeah.
that's another reason I'm like, man, can we have the black women who are heroes already? Can we have more of their stories? Like, first of all, Wonder Woman is a Greek demigod. I agree with Gal Gadot playing her, and if they ever recast the role, I need her to be darker. You know what I'm talking about? Because if we're talking about where she lives, those women are in that sun, and they're not that complexion.
That wasn't island skin.
That wasn't island skin. But Gal Gadot is good because she is, you know, of that area. But when we talk about Spider-Woman, I'm like, bro, I wanted to see, you know, who's a good example? Did y'all ever see the movie Salt with Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
That is the type of hero that I love seeing women be. Like when you see Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron, you're like, woo, I like this because this is her. This is her as a hero, and this is her story.
Yeah.
Don't just give me a woman and make her stunt her growth by giving her something where she can't give her all, like a baby, or she's what's another thing they try and do? They try to make a woman so lovesick that she can't choose to save the world.
I hate that.
Yeah.
And then, but even to that point, like I don't like again, and then it goes back to that whole this checkbox thing to make sure everybody's presented into something. It's like, wouldn't that have been more realistic for Gwen to be pregnant since y'all promote this 16 and pregnant with these white girls all the time?
CT about to black out. CT about to go off.
But okay, so my question is this though, because in the sense of that, CT, stop. I'm trying to scoop past it. Stop giving the reaction.
No, don't scoop past that. How many seasons of 16?
I'm trying to scoop past it. This reaction is thick.
It's totally fine, guys. It's acceptable.
Because I was going to say, I mean, because then, and granted, like I said, I agree with everything you said about black women and representation and showing that. But then that would mean that they would have to take the liberty of changing the origin of that character, because that character, when it went black and when they did introduce her, it was that. So that's what, and so like, then that would be okay. Now we would have to take a different liberty with this character, which again, I think either way would be okay. For me, it didn't take it out because, granted, like even with her pregnant, it wasn't like she was stunted with the action. She was still kicking ass. And that in my mind, I'm like, see, just like a black mom, even while she's pregnant, she's still busting ass. You know, like
I'm sorry. No, she was not. That girl made one jump on that motorcycle. The rest of the time, she was calling Spider-Man throughout this movie. Don't do that. Girl ain't fought nobody. She was not in that chase with Miles.
And then like Vulture. She was going around in circles and stuff. She was shooting and trying things together. She did a lot of shit.
You know what? I may have missed more at the beginning of this movie.
That's hilarious.
I just missed the beginning of it.
Yeah, I have missed a lot.
Because
I may have missed more than just 1 minute.
When she said that, I was like, how do you know you missed 10 seconds?
I would ask people, I'm like, how much did I miss? And they'd be like, oh, you missed about a good 20.
I think I just told myself that just to be quiet. What
part did you come in on? That's a better question. What part did you come in on?
I came in on the part where she was like, will you adopt me?
So that was right after the fight.
But you know what though? But you know what it is?
After seeing her do some amazing stuff, and Gwen was like, "Will you adopt me?"
Yeah, and then I was paying attention to this dude that worked there that came through, and I thought he caught me, and I was just like,
"Yeah."
And then when he walked out, I was like, "He don't care. I'm good."
But in the sense of, since Dion brought up Vulture, the art styles that they gave each individual character, like Vulture was in like a Renaissance style art style that they did this Vulture. And I thought that it was so dope how they addressed that with like the different spider people, different universes. That was amazing the way they did that.
It was can we talk distracting because it felt undone, but I knew each character had their own style. Like I almost had a seizure because it was so much like what is happening right now.
So can we talk about the one that was really giving epilepsy?
Punk,
Spider Punk, like, bro, intense. That was a lot.
See, but he's now in my top spider people. I fuck with Spider Punk heavily. Daniel Kaluuya did his damn thing with that role.
Slightly distracting.
That movie. Here's the thing, and I want y'all to go into it. Just to say, when I saw Donald Glover's cameo, aside from us all wanting him to be the Prowler and all of that, his cameo was the first live action cameo in this movie. And the fact that they did that showed me, oh, y'all can go there.
Yeah.
So now I'm even more excited for part 3 because it's like, if this movie went here, where the fuck is the third movie gonna go?
Yeah. And they had the Asian one from the Venom.
But the only thing I'll say for that is, though, that was pre-recorded. That was the only thing that I kind of was like, okay, I'll give you that, because it's the same part where they come talk to her and Venom already took her over, and before he started talking shit. So it was the same scene. They just added spot there. Yeah. So Donald had the first authentic live cameo in there. But just like how to y'all point, they even said that I think they said to the same amount, like there was more live action scenes that were supposed to be in there that they took out.
Yeah, because they kept on testing, trying to figure out whose live action would fit, like what would be the best. And they said that when they landed on Donald Glover, it just felt good for everybody to have Donald Glover in there. And the fact that, bro, they literally shot that in April. They said it was a day. It was the last thing one of the last things they shot. They was like, we had to get it done. We shot it in April. And then,
well, think about it. It also sets up, the reason they probably chose that cameo is because it sets up the ending as well. Like when you see the animated Prowler again, and you're like, wait a minute, I get a chance to see this dude again, which I think is Mahershala. Yes. And then you get a chance to see, Otherworld Miles, and you're like, this is incredible all the way around.
Yeah, and
I'm mad they took out the Morbius scene, man.
You wow.
Man, you know what though? I'm glad he brought it up, man, because that would have made this movie even just icing on the cake, man. And before Morbius grabbed him, Tyrese just catches him and just saves him. Come on, bro. We needed that.
Hey, if they jump back into the scene with Tyrese at the bottom and then we go back to the top in that moment.
And then look, this is how you kill the engine. All of a sudden, you hear engines revving.
No.
And he says, "Hey, I see you're saving the Spiderverse for family." And it just goes.
Bro, when Tyrese was downstairs to upstairs, no bullshit, me and Dion were sitting next to each other at the downtown Regal, and I looked at him, I said, that nigga went upstairs that fast.
So imagine in Spiderverse if they show Spot and Tyrese walk through the spot and then walk out the spot upstairs.
That would make that movie redeemable if they showed that.
Follow me. Get the Morbius.
That Morbius was too bad to be believable. It was like, there's no way y'all shot this film and said, yeah, we're gonna release this way.
It's like,
there's no way.
It was like, where's the rest of it?
Yes.
First 36 minutes was fire.
Oh my God.
So good. So good.
Oh my God. You're like, how did we not want to see this movie sooner? And then at that 36 minutes and 2 seconds, you're like, but it's happening.
Like, this nigga's in an orange jumpsuit already.
I said to Dion in that moment, I said, how does he not get a trial? I said this. There's no way in no universe do you go from getting talked to by the police to being in prison that fast, bro.
I was like, listen, I didn't want to be stereotypical, but I was like, you don't get the suit that fast. That's all I'm saying. They don't give you that jumpsuit that early. Joining us.
Let me tell you, Broady, before you even talk, let me tell you why this is unacceptable, brother. We almost done. Yeah. And you are not even home. You walking around, look like you having a great day, saying hello to everybody that walk by you. You got to
Spiderverse are you in right now?
Say hello face. And you mean to tell me you thought this was acceptable for you to click in at 53 minutes in?
Well, the biggest thing about Spider-Man and his plight is that he's trying to find balance in his life, between being Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man. Wearing the mask is hard, as well as being just a regular kid. And that's what's kind of going on right now. This is kind of an analogy to that, I'm in the middle of producing right now. I'm on a lunch break, and I decided I needed my 2 cents heard, because I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas have been saying while I've been in there. But
it's just best way to go out and never come back in.
Yeah.
And that was Broady, y'all.
That was Broady. Broady is filming.
Broady, ladies and gentlemen.
He's filming. I think this is his 15th movie producing for these children, which is amazing. It makes me jealous that I'm not a kid.
Man, what just happened?
What just happened? What's going on in your universe, bro?
Stay there.
I don't know, man. It's a glitch. I'm not gonna be here too long. Obviously, I'm gonna be thrown into some other universe. Look, I don't know what was said, but all I do know is that was one of the most visually fulfilling things I've ever seen in my life. The way they handled every character's emotion. I mean, just with Gwen and the watercolors and everyone's universe was amazing. I love the nods. I'm sure you discussed the Prowler. That Donald Glover being in there. I like that they're connecting that universe. I love they're connecting the Venom universe with the Shopkeeper. That was amazing. So we know that everything is connected, and I'm very hopeful for what Beyond the Spider-Verse has to bring.
Bye-bye.
Go back to the truck and stay there.
I was like, why are you?
Background was incredible.
I'm like, why are you still walking?
It wasn't me, or did it feel like the Western and the horse Spider-Man felt kind of racist? It felt kind of like,
yo.
Why did the horse have a mask on? That felt very Ku Klux Klanish.
I ain't gonna lie, he did look like he say nigga a lot.
Oh,
Like, yo, I don't know why. Like, he got a lot of quips and stuff, but with the word nigga in them.
We know that's a horse, nigga. We know that's a horse.
that's a horse. There's no way that you're gonna disguise his identity.
And who you disguising it from?
Are other horses like, ooh, I know that was you? What are they gonna know about it?
What's gonna happen?
Maybe I'm super ignorant to horse culture, but like, is it easy to tell horses apart from each other? Because again, it goes to that question. I'm like,
right. Get the mask off of him, man.
I ain't gonna lie. My uncle had a horse, and if you line that horse up with about 15 other horses, we just lost that horse. I'm just gonna throw that out. Be like, look, I don't think this the same horse we came with. We did not leave with.
I can't tell Mr. Ed from. I don't even know another famous. What's
Mr.
another
Pete.
famous horse?
Ed,
Are
Mr. Pete.
horses obedient? Like if you say, chow, chow, come here. Will he come? Just him?
Chow chow.
What type of name for chow
I don't
chow?
know,
for horse?
man.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. That do sound like
That
a
horse ain't
name.
winning no
I ain't
races.
gonna lie.
The chow.
No, that sound like
chow.
that sound like a form horse. That ain't no performer
I
horse.
don't know if horses are obedient. Can they sit and do they?
You can train a horse. Yeah,
You can train a horse.
I'm talking about by their names though, like
I'm not necessarily sure. I know it's by movements and stuff. I don't know if they sound because like they'll do this with sounds and stuff.
I know if you kick them in their hips, they move.
Jesus.
I wouldn't do that. I would not recommend.
You know when you ride, you got to kick them in their leg, their little hips.
Dion, don't ever do that again, bro. That looked like
I was on the
Herman. All right, y'all. This is the perfect time to get to our final segment before we get out of here, man. And so I want to know. So we're going with our 4 Spider-Man. Like as I said, man, we now have 4 Spider-Man in technically in the movies, not live action. But I want to know from you. I'm gonna give y'all a few certain different like scenarios, and which Spider-Man would you choose for your scenario? So the first one, of course.
Number 4.
What'd you say, Dion?
And why is Andrew Garfield number 4?
No, you out of control, bro.
What you do him like that?
I ain't gonna pick him as number 1. Stop it.
Come on, man.
Who would you party with out of these 4 Spider-Man?
Oh, that's different.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, there we go. He was the coolest. He was the
coolest.
Yeah.
And we're talking in order. In order, bro. Okay. I'm talking about the man that I am now, right? I am an adult man. I'm hanging with Toby first because Toby is a little older than us, but he is the guy. Like, I feel like me and him are going to have a good time playing Jenga, a little game night. You know what I mean? Number 2 is definitely going to be Andrew Garfield because he's in the age group of me to where we'd be able to be like, hey, man, yeah, let's go have some fun, but not too much, but just a little bit. Number 3 is going to be Miles, because Miles is gonna be like that little brother that you be trying to tell stuff about, and you learn a little stuff about him, and you're like, oh, this is cool. And y'all both have enough different friends to where I'm taking something from him and my friends won't know, and he's taking something from me and his friends won't know. And then number 4 for me is Tom, because Tom Holland's Peter Parker doesn't seem fun. He just seems, as Spider-Man, he's amazing, but as Peter Parker, doesn't seem like a fun dude.
He seemed annoying as fuck. Like, he really just seems like he's not a great conversationalist. Like,
Oh, facts.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Andrew Garfield. I am going to go Miles. I'm going to go Tom Holland, and Toby is last, strictly because of he's a part of the Pussy Posse, and that's those stories that they did is wild as fuck. Him, Leonardo DiCaprio, like they was running wild in Hollywood. I don't want to be associated with that at all.
First of all, that's not Toby. That is that we are talking about Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
I don't care. I feel like Peter. Is going, I feel like Toby is. I feel like.
Where did you hear these stories?
You never heard of the Pussy Posse, bro?
Yeah.
First of all, I've heard of the posse. I said, where have you heard these stories?
Everywhere. What are you talking about? Where? They got a whole documentary on them.
Yeah.
That's the answer, because everywhere is not an answer. So where is this documentary?
I don't know where it's at right now. I saw it on. I saw it on Amazon. So I don't know where it's at now, but it may. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna tell you the movie. They had a movie. Justine? When she had got arrested for like FBI for doing that little ring, that little gambling ring.
Yeah,
I can't think of the movie of it.
I don't know.
It was Idris Elba in it.
Oh, and that white and that white chick from Interstellar.
Yeah,
the one that looked like the other three white women with the red hair. But
the guy,
Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, she the best actress out of all the three of them.
I love her.
Women we talking about.
So she did a movie with Idris Elba. What was the movie about?
I gotta look at the name.
Oh,
but
yeah, I know.
And the guy, Michael Cera, was Toby in that movie.
He was Tobey Maguire?
Michael Cera, the actor.
He was Tobey Maguire.
He was playing Tobey Maguire, and he's a dick in real life. Everybody knew that was him in real life. Toby. What's his name? Is it Maguire?
Yeah,
he's a real dick. Like,
because it was.
I've had heard stories about that.
Like, it was Eve from Entourage, Tobey Maguire, Leonardo DiCaprio. Like they crew was wild.
So they had like this underground gambling thing, like playing poker, and he was like forcing women to give him head, and give you a tip and stuff. He was like, he was really
Molly's Game.
Yep, that's it. Molly's Game. That's it.
Yeah, Molly's Game. Yeah, watch that movie. And the character Michael Cera is 100% Toby. You can look up that.
This is wild.
That movie is incredible. Incredible.
So Michael Cera's name was Player X instead of Tobey Maguire.
I want to say his name.
Yeah. So Toby's my last because I don't want to be associated with the Pussy Posse at all.
Spider-Man 1, 2, 3 got to his head. He was like, I'm untouchable.
I'm gonna watch this.
I made my meals off of Pleasantville, but now it's easy coasting after this.
Like I said, when he was doing the dance, that was really him. He was like, Yo,
when he did this was like, you do this often.
The director said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He said, "This is my motherfucking movie."
Movie.
He said, "If you cut this out, I'll beat your ass."
I'm Tobey Maguire.
Legend has it. He started referring to himself as the first person and said the name hit the word "bitch" after he said it. I'm Tobey Maguire, bitch.
I see you at Spider-Man 4. You say what?
You say what? They not.
Y'all recasted.
Molly's Game.
You didn't see what we did to Venom? That was on purpose.
Yo, are they doing a Venom 4 or a Venom 3?
Yeah. Actually, what's his face? Idris is in it, I think.
Who's he gonna be?
Apparently the rumor is he's supposed to be Null. I could be getting my actor mixed up, but they did just name a major actor that's added to Venom 3.
I kind of feel like they should do a Venom 3 as a part 1 and then Spider-Man whatever
and
as the two-parter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be dope to kind of
so if they do the rumored character he's supposed to be playing, then that makes sense because he's supposed to be playing Null, which is the king of the symbiotes, the one that created him.
So it'd be like a separation anxiety. You ever play that game? I think that could be the storyline. They have
that would
be Sega.
Yeah, that would be that's a great storyline though for this one.
That was Sega. Great memory.
I'm actually ready this time. It was Chiwetel. I'm probably gonna butcher that last name.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah, that's what they announced for Venom 3. Yeah.
Oh, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Oh, he's great.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who he could, but if he plays Noel, I could see that, but I would rather him play somebody else. I'd rather Noel be like CG.
Nigga said, y'all gonna keep me in this movie because he did in fuck
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, they killed him.
Well, 2 different universes.
No, they killed him in our universe because they didn't cut it out.
I'm saying he's Marvel and this is Sony.
Yeah, what I'm saying is he's like, y'all gonna keep me in this fucking film.
Wait, how's he dead?
So if you watch the director's cut on YouTube and stuff, they said it was too bloody because he had fought Wanda in that little red realm and chopped his head off.
Yeah.
And then when they zoomed in on that little apple box, that was
his head
was supposed to be in there.
His head was in there.
Did they show that though?
No. They didn't show it.
And
but
he
they
did. He did then.
Well, yeah, sure. It's like they did I Am Legend. They're gonna do it like a.
That's what I'm saying. Like if we didn't see them die, and even still at that point.
I mean, it's comic book stuff, so anybody. There's multiple ways they can always bring them back. I did want to ask y'all about Spider-Verse. How did y'all feel about the music in this one versus the one?
I didn't like it, man. I was about to say that, dude. It ain't nothing.
Mad mid.
I said because you got to think that title track, that "Hello Danger" in one was so powerful and popping.
We pick it up now. Hello Danger.
And Sunflower was fire.
Yeah,
Sunflower, absolutely.
Always.
And you can't hear Sunflower and not think about Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah,
exactly.
Bro, I wasn't even a big Post Malone fan, and then after Spider-Verse 1, I was like, let me listen to his catalog. I maybe listen to it.
Houston, man, so you already know.
When he had released in the Upside Down and the music came in. That music was the perfect recipe for that scene.
Yeah, there's like a whole. I'm gonna send y'all the video in the group chat, but there's like one, and it says that this scene is what made me fall in love with this whole movie. And
I got chill bumps.
But you know what? Off, it's just like woo!
I love how. Again, also going back to this movie, I do love how they do the upside down stuff because that shot when Gwen and Miles was just chilling underneath, that was a beautiful shot.
That was beautiful,
Your heroes up. Yeah,
and it's so symbolic to their realities. You know what I mean? Both their lives feel like turned upside down. I mean, that's just the obvious of it. But then they're still viewing New York in a regular. You know, it's like there's so much to it, man. That movie is just. I mean, artistic. I'm gonna go see it again, but there's just so much to digest from that.
What I don't like is how do they stick in with their shoes? And they got whole air.
I swear to God, I was thinking that, bro.
Thank you. Yes, because that's what's yes, bro. I'm so glad the three of us.
How?
That's the one thing I have a problem with. That's the one thing I do have a problem with. It's very unclear because it's. I mean, they just be walking like they don't even. I don't even think they have special. I think they just do it in slippers. It doesn't really matter.
So they explained it with the Spider-Man suit, which is his boots are thin. So his boots at his foot are thin enough for the little things that come out to go.
That makes sense.
Jordans are this thick.
Them soles is
how you attaching Jordan?
That means he probably got some Team Jordans on. You know what I mean? Underneath that suit, got that thin sole.
He's been wearing face.
He got the side chick Jordans.
Yeah.
I mean, he is from New York, so you know that's home of the bootleg Jordan.
It's easy. You go to what is it? The Canal Street? Yeah, you go to Canal Street, get you some Team Jordans. You stick to any surface. That's how they advertise.
Surface.
You want to go to the Chrysler Building? Wear these.
That makes sense, bro. Because when I saw the shoes, I'm like, the boots make sense because it's like you can get through the sock, you can get through the shoe. But when you're talking about thick ass soles, bro, how far are your joints coming through, man?
Your shoes are shredded.
Because that's what I love about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is they showed it coming through his fingers. So you're like, all right, I now get this. But they did not show. Because that goes back. I was about to say the suit's still thin, so if it's coming through his like thighs or knees, that also makes sense. But the shoes,
if the suit's so thin, I mean, what happens when Mary J comes around? I mean, like,
Come
what,
on, man. Come on. Kids,
You're
hold on.
directing a movie with children, and you're talking like this.
you're Tobey Maguire's in his 40s, so let's stick to that one.
He needs
I
some
wanna
years for
see-
his web slinging. It's like,
I want to see Spider-Man 4. I want to see Spider-Man 4 with Toby. I want to see Spider-Man 4 with Tom. I want to see Spider-Man 3 with Andrew. And I want to see this live action Miles Morales immediately.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So before we get out of here, just one of these things. What do you expect that we will see as a surprise in the next one, which is of course Beyond the Spider-Verse? Who do you think will cameo?
villains now?
Even from that, but who do you think they might cameo from this now that we do have those villains?
They got to show Tom because that's the only Spider-Man they did not show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I'm at a loss for words because I didn't expect half of what I saw in this movie.
Exactly.
I'm going 90s Spider-Man. I feel like they saved that for the third one. I really
hope
want
so.
the 90s cartoon.
He doesn't get enough love.
Yeah. And I would love to see him as Peter. Like, I don't even have to necessarily see him dressed as Spider. I love that drawing style. I would love for Miles to interact with him.
I don't know what direction. I think what they're gonna do. They're gonna because I know the Spot is going to be the big villain.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to settle their differences with all the other Spider-Mans early, but then also get Miles from his situation, which is technically a small villain of like, hey, I am him from a different universe. They'll have to fix that real quick. But I feel like the Spot's gonna get bigger and bigger, and then they all gonna have to come. All the Spider is gonna have to come in, and I don't even know how to kill this nigga.
But you're not acknowledging Prowler from the evil Miles, yo. That's the real problem, yo.
That's what I said.
Because it's for him to try to keep his reality the same. Either they're gonna have to team up, somehow, just to create. Because the Spot is the one that's really creating the anomaly in both their universes,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the one they're gonna have to team up to take out. But I think Prowler in the other in the 42 universe is gonna beat Miles' ass. Go ahead. Clayton got something, yo. I know he got something. CT got something. Though.
What if in part 3 Miles has to fix his timeline to where he never got bit by the spider?
Damn.
Just so 42 could have a Spider-Man.
So I got a
Wow.
That's the end of the trilogy. Go ahead.
I got a version of that. The version of that. What I believe may happen is this is how I believe that Miles can fix this whole scenario, because in the R Miles,
I promise you, nigga, if you say the same thing CT just said, I'm gonna
no, it's not. No, I'm address the reason why he can save his pops.
Go ahead.
In general, right? Because in his universe, remember, he wasn't supposed to be the Miles, right? And so
Damn.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm gonna finish what he was trying to say. So basically, I honestly think that really we also need to include. I think he's gonna grab.
I thought you
froze.
I thought
You
you just
good
hit
now,
it. Yeah,
Deuces.
you froze. Go ahead.
Oh, I froze?
Yeah, you froze. So say it. Take it back.
All right.
The way to save his pops in his universe.
Yeah, so he would save his pops in his universe, because in his universe he wasn't like CT said, he wasn't supposed to be bitten, and so like obviously the third they're going to figure out that. But in the dark universe in that Miles, the canon event had already happened. So and technically there's no Spider-Man in there. So my theory is this: in that dark universe, that Miles is he's not going to ever become a Spider-Man. He's going to remain Prowler, but he's going to be a different Prowler. Because if you read any of the Prowler comics, he's that anti-hero. So he's not necessarily bad all the time. So he's just the person, right? So he doesn't necessarily have to save his pops, because that canon event is not necessarily going to be the canon event for him, because he's the anomaly and he was bit by the spider from a different universe. He really just has to save and help that Miles in the equal universe, like CT said. But I don't think that there's anything dealing with the spider people in regards to it. Because that canon event that's supposed to happen even though his pops is about to become the captain, I don't think his pops is really going to die. And that's how they're going to be the scapegoat, because that whole scenario, the whole reason, that whole Spider-Man, it wasn't supposed to affect him at all in his universe. And I do believe that's, to me, that's what I think is going to wrap it up in the way.
I hear you. That's also, I think I'm just so used to the Miles's dad dying, because even in a video game, it's like, you know what I mean?
That's what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was about to say.
And the theory I have is, go ahead, brother.
Now I was going to say, I mean, that's also another element too. I mean, is it going to be Miles from I can't remember which number, but non 42, or Miles teaming up with PS4 Miles to take on 42 Miles?
Hey, that'd be fire. I ain't gonna hold you.
That'd be fire.
I will fuck with that. I ain't
That
gonna
would be fire.
But also to that point, I think from what y'all saying is, I think Prowler's gonna try to go kill Miles's dad. I think he's going to get that device from Gwen or some of the other Spider-Man, and he's gonna go over there and take him out because of him taking that spider from him. You changed my whole life, so because of you, I lost my dad. Now I'm gonna take yours from you. And that's what's going to be the big fight and chase, is him going to that Earth to kill him.
I think it's going to be really like Tenet. It's going to be like really inversion in the next one. It's going to be like whatever you did in your universe, we're going to do in mine now, you know, to balance things out, to bring it back. Because in his mind, the Prowler Miles, I think he sees himself as saving his pops and restoring order to 42.
Yeah.
You know?
That, man, I'm very excited. Does anybody know the date of the next one dropping?
It's
A
March
year from now,
20,
I think, right?
March 26, 2024. Yeah.
I'm already.
And then hopefully don't get moved because of the strikes.
I'm like, y'all bold as fuck. No, that's done. No. Like, they ain't already told
No, it's not. No, it's not. They
that's publicity. Like animation.
No, I literally
That
right
shit's
before
done,
here,
bro.
I interviewed the director.
That
They
shit
only
done.
got partial of the voice acting done. There you
Can I bring this up to y'all's attention, man? Is anybody noticing how different Deuces is now? Dion, he's different, bro. There was a time where Deuces used to be like,
humble, baby.
He was humble. Deuces now, come on, man. I was just talking to Ron Howard, and I was talking to his daughter Bryce. You guys don't know anything. And it's like, man,
Why are you talking like this?
I'm just
We're
trying
all
to keep
telling
it
y'all.
accurate.
You know what did it though? CT, this.
oh yeah.
When the hand came out, I was like, oh.
You're kind of like baby Groot. You were young Deuces, now you're like teen Deuces. You're about to be a adult. He's like a Groot. You're like Groot, bro.
No, Deuces, and he don't
He's
even
got an
live in
attitude.
LA yet. Wait till he gets to LA.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna hit us. Hey man, just send me an email.
Why y'all putting this on my jacket, man?
Man.
His hair gonna be braided back like the other Miles Morales.
Just always got his head up like this now when he talked to him.
Man, Deuces is different.
Just trying to
Turn
keep
around
it
like this. He's gonna turn around like,
they go kill
I
us
don't
in
go
the
by
street.
Deuces anymore.
I go by Trace. I go by Trace.
I mean, listen here. If I'm a evolve, at least let me go to Ace. Why I got to go down to Trace? At least let me go to Ace. Let me go to 1.
I mean, I was thinking 3P for the ring, but you know how.
Yeah, you know, whatever you want. Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another great episode of Straight Out of the Comic Book, man. I want to thank my homies for coming in, man. Young Dudes, Dion Lack, CT, and of course Broady for dropping in, man. I appreciate y'all time, man. Make sure y'all let us know in the comments below who was the MVP of the Spider-Man film. Let us know in the comments below. We're checking in.
I didn't say mine for the record, but I'll be fast. It was Miles Morales. That's who I'd hang out with. You know, he reminds me of my son. He's black and, you know, has Latino. Then I got, you know what I'm saying? Then I would have to hang out with I'd hang out with Tom Holland, honestly, because think about it. Tom Holland got Zendaya. Think about that. Zendaya got friends. All right. Third, I would probably rock with I'd definitely rock with Andrew Garfield, and my least would be Toby because that dance.
I just only had one, Miles Morales, because he got the little band to go to different things, and we could partner with different Spider-Man. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna let y'all go around. We're gonna start with Deuce, then Dion, Broady, and then CT, and we'll close this thing out. Deuces, you up first.
I mean, I don't really do much, so just follow me on Young_Deuces.
Roll the credits, nigga.
That show's about to be 10 minutes, nigga. Yeah, so
the Brandon wrote though. Brody rotating why he did it though.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
I don't go by anything but Deuces anymore.
oh shit.
Hey. So I walked up to the director and I was just like, hey, I'm Deuces. That's all you gotta do.
You're doing a good job, man. What is this? Captain America New World Order? I like it. I'll talk to you when your movie come out. That's how he is now.
They're like, I think I should change that name. New World Order ain't fitting no more. Here
I was talking to Harrison Ford and my man Mackie, right? And they told me to plot. I said, y'all gotta change Act 3.
Gotta change it.
You gotta change it.
I was talking to Robert Downey Jr. and
Downey Jr.
You know my man Seth Rollins, right? Yeah, I got him a little partner. The new Captain America,
little cameo.
He brought me to WrestleMania.
Who's KF? Kevin Feige. I'm sorry.
I know y'all think of he's president.
I call him KFC, anyway. Kevin Feige Chief.
That's hilarious, bro. Go ahead, Deuces. You want to say it, nigga. Tell us what's going on. This is the time.
Listen, just follow me on Young_Deuces. Go to Watch Mojo. I'm doing list over there, and go to Sway's Universe. I'm doing content over there for Blur Culture.
Woo-hoo.
Look at him, boy. His locks fell, and that boy to change, man.
Once they touch the shoulders, you start acting different.
Ooh, you start acting different, boy. I remember the days. Go ahead, Dion. What's up, man?
Dion Lack, man. All platforms. Follow me on Lactose ENT. Content weekly. That's it.
Broady.
That's Broady the Joker, Broady the Joker on all platforms, and I've got a live taping on Father's Day. So if you're in the DMV, pull up to the Arlington Draft House. It's a live taping. Father's Day is Juneteenth, so there's no school, no work that Monday. Pull up.
I love it. At CT is dope on everything. I appreciate you having us on, Will. This is an incredible time. I look forward to doing this in 2 weeks after we watch The Flash.
Yes,
we might need a special Beast Wars joint. I just saw Beast Wars last night.
Oh yeah, we'll have a Beast Wars
that.
Come out. Yeah, we'll definitely.
We gotta talk about that.
Yes,
I'm gonna watch it. I've never been ever since Sam Witwicky left. I was like, oh, I guess.
They might be back with this one.
Yeah, they back with this one, bro. They back with this one.
Yeah.
Well, is Sam Witwicky back? No, I shouldn't ask. Don't answer.
I should. Here's the thing. The guy, the Latin dude that's playing the lead, man, this dude is such a great actor, and I love that they're giving him a chance to be this leading man because he's played some feminine characters before, and I'm like, how's this gonna work? His acting, people don't be knowing, so it's like you can go on and kill. But if he was black, when I tell you, everybody would know. Hey, y'all about to watch the movie with this dude? And you'd be like, what?
I mean,
he was a 2 on 2.
Pass.
We gave who?
Vin Rames.
Did they?
His open. You see, you think?
Did they give him a pass after Holiday Heart came out, boy? Come on, man.
And Pulp Fiction.
No. That was different.
No. That was different. Yeah, that was acting.
That was forced.
That was in the movie. It's like Sam having to listen to Quentin Tarantino say "dead nigga storage" for like 30 minutes. It's like, yo, you lucky you put this in here and paid me. Holiday Heart, he chose to do that shit.
Holiday Heart.
Did I ever tell y'all about the time me and Ving Rhames was
Got to get out of here, guys. Always a pleasure, man. This is